Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, buenos dias, good morning guys, peace and blessings be to all you guys. Pray you guys are doing great, family members and everything. Another day, ya tu sabe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday in Philadelphia. Kind of warm, not too hot, 65, 68 degrees. We're supposed to be getting some rain tomorrow and the following days, so they say, due to the hurricane that's, I think it's passing through Florida or something, or somewhere close to there, if I'm not mistaken. Wanted to come here this morning and give you guys a short story, long time ago, that I heard. I actually heard it off a santero. I was around a toque, you know, there was going to be a santo, let's say toque, instrumental playing for a certain santo, and you know, they asked me to go, and I went and got me some clothes and stuff like that, you know, because usually you want to dress proper to go to those places. And I went, and you know, before things started, people are talking about religion, about, you know, different type of things. You know, we got babalaos there, we got paleros there, gaguleros, we got santeros, we got all different type of people that believe in certain traditions. But a lot of times, you know, they come and they assist and go through these places, you know, because it still has to do with, you know, with spirituality and a certain type of tradition or something, or belief system. And you know, I'm talking to some santeros, I'm talking to some babalaos, you know, from the Cuban Ifa tradition, talking to spiritists and all that. But I started talking to this older man. He was a santero, you know, many years, and he's talking to me, you know, about the belief system, you know, the tradition in Santo. Because, you know, I wasn't initiated into none of these, you know, traditions, you know, really initiated. I had medio asiento, was what they call, you know, from a santero, you know, they had put collares on me. So they do this ritual on you and all this. It's kind of like, almost like baptism, you know, like a first step, you know, because you believe, you know, and the orishas. Anyway, I had my collares, my leques on and all that. And we talking, you know, we talking about stuff, you know. I wasn't too knowledgeable about the tradition, but I had a little bit of know, you know, because like everybody, I speak to people, I read, you know, and you familiarize yourself a little bit with something, you know. I was getting into reading the pataquis, you know, which are, you know, stories and folklore and stuff like that, and you know, I was trying to learn a little bit about it. So he tells me we had a conversation, and we kept going. I know it led to something like, it was leading to something as how the spirituality and spirits work, you know, and he was explaining to me about there are things that happen in life, you know, that you come across or happens that it's not by coincidence. It's not by chance. Was there for a purpose, or it happened for a purpose. It wasn't just a coincidence, or just was a chance. And I'm trying to understand what he's trying to say. So he seen that it was kind of a little bit difficult for me because, yeah, I understand. You know, people, we say good luck, bad luck, which really there's no such thing as good luck and bad luck. So he kind of seen that. I was like, yeah, I understand kind of the concept. For me, the good luck and the bad luck, I was like, I understand the concept. People say good luck, bad luck. Yeah, okay. You know, like some things make sense. But he was like, listen, I'm going to give you a story. And this story, I have heard a variation of this short story in some writings and in some comments on social media, something that you will see this kind of short little thing come up. And it speaks about, he was telling me, right? Imagine yourself walking on the beach one day, right? You by yourself, you go to the beach. And you're walking. And you're looking at the ocean. You're looking at the sand, you're looking at the shells, and and you come across a bottle, a champagne or a wine bottle. You either come across the wine bottle or a cork that was what sealed the wine or champagne bottle. Usually it's really wine is the most predominant one that's sealed with corks. And he tells me either or of the two, whether the bottle and the cork is there, you see them both, or either one is there, what will you do with that bottle? Why do you think that bottle was there? I'm sorry. Why do you think that bottle or that cork was there? Or the bottle and the cork was there? And I told him, well, probably someone, that felt like drinking, feel good, they opened up a wine bottle and drunk. I mean, it's a natural thing that, some people like wine and they do. And he says, okay. He said, but in Spanish, he was speaking to me in Spanish. He said, pero piensa, mira esto. He said, look at this. Most of the time, people that open wine bottles, right, at big, offices and let's say people that have money or something, people that have money, people that just broke a good contract and they want to celebrate because it's a multi-million-dollar contract or something that they won or they got the contracts to or whatever, and they celebrated with that. He also told me, look at it as a man and a wife got married and they celebrated that marriage, and he kept giving me like these type of scenarios, and I was like, oh wow, I never looked at it like that. After he gives me some scenarios and explains to me and all that, he makes it like into a story. He was giving me like certain stories using that wine bottle and the cork or either or. And he goes, okay, now if it was you, right, that you found that you seen that bottle, that cork, what would you do with it? And I looked at him like, what am I going to do with a wine? You explained to me all that, but what am I going to do with a cork or a wine bottle? So I told him, I probably won't do nothing. I'll probably just walk right by, look at it, walk right by it. Or probably take it and throw it away, throw it in the trash, because this litter is on the sand. And, I'll probably somebody will step on it, break, and cut themselves or something, And he was like, no. He said whether the wine bottle is there or the cork or both are there, you should have taken that wine bottle and that cork with you. And I'm looking at him like, what the hell? I'm going to take the wine bottle and the cork for what? And then he started explaining to me, because of the energy and the positivity of what was happening at that particular time and moment of that celebration would bring me positivity, good energy, and so forth and so on. And I was like, oh wow, like I didn't look at it like that, and it kind of messed me up, and he left me there. Like he says, you see, like he said, viste, como son las cosas, como es la vida, como las cosas pasan, how life is, how things happens. These are not coincidences. These are not bad luck or good luck. This is just things that are put in your path. And I was like, wow. He goes, yeah, you should have taken the bottle with you. And it would have been something that was giving you that positive vibe, that energy, just the same way it gave that positivity, that happiness of them people closing that deal, breaking that contract, making money, or that marriage, they got married, happy time. And all I thought was about the possibilities, of the positivity that he was speaking about at that moment in time. And, and the conversation led off, and I was like, oh, wow, man, gracias, por eso, mira, me hiciste pensar, you made me think, I didn't see it that way. You got to understand, you're not looking at things the way certain people already that have more maturity and have some type of life experiences and also are in a tradition or in a belief system that knows and uses certain elements, that could produce certain outcomes. I wasn't that open to that. So, conversation went, and I didn't, I took it. I was like, wow, and I always remembered that. I remember the story. Then a couple of years went by after that, and I think on social media. I don't know if I was on Facebook one time. I used to go in the Facebook and then just close the account and get out. Like, that's never been me. I used to get on before even Instagram and all that. I know there was a MySpace. I used to be on MySpace when it first started. And I know I read a little something about a wine bottle. And then one time I read something about a cork. And it was almost like what the elder was speaking to me, that had spoke to me a couple of years ago. And I was like, well, this story must be something that's, it's abroad, like a lot of people know it, or there's a similitude with it, or because it's to show you or to give you some type of teaching off of it, and a benefit way, in a beneficial way for you, for you could look at things different. I was like, oh, wow, look. So a lot of people must know about this type of thing. And it ain't really about the story. It's about what brought you to that place where that wine bottle and that cork was at, and the energies that were produced or came about at that celebration in time, whatever celebration they had, But he only told me in a good way, and after that, for a while, I didn't think about no other way but just on that positive note, that positive way that he spoke about it. But then it came into me, right? As time went on, years passed, right? And I remember the story of a little bit of how he explained to me. Like, I forgot a lot of things, but he gave me a lot of examples. And I started saying, okay, I see what he's talking about now, but now I understand more. Now I'm looking at more into spirituality. I always looked into the spirituality, but it wasn't no African-based tradition. It was more on scriptural, things. But I was always interested. That's why I would go to these toque de santo. They even have names for them three, things that they hid and all that. They got to be consecrated, and some of these past 2 generations, like, not just anybody have certain ones. I forgot the name of what they called. And I was like, yeah, but now that I think about it, not only could that wine bottle and cork, or the wine bottle by itself, or the cork, when I was at that beach at that time, and I seen it, and I picked it up and took it with me. What did I pick up and take with me? Could it have been that wine bottle was open to, in a time when a person was going through some difficult times? Were they sad? Did they lose someone? All these possibilities that we don't look as positive or good vibe or good, we look more like negative thoughts. The opposite of happiness and joy and laughter and love. What about if you picked up that bottle and that cork and the energy that was produced or embodied in that, or came in to that, because of that misery of that person or those persons that were at that time drinking from that, and that time of misery, of pain. Then it would work the same way. You know? That's why we also have to be very aware as practitioners when we go to the woods, when we go to parks, when we go to places and we see things on the ground, on the grass, next to trees, in certain places, and it is appealing to us, that we look at it, it pulls our attention to it. You have to be very careful that attention that is pulling to you, for you could go investigate, see, grab, touch, feel, take with you, is not in a opposite way. There's actually there that could lead you to a destructive time, something that would actually be the opposite of good. Just a quick story, guys. Things, that as I'm driving came to my mind, and I felt like sharing it with you guys. Have a blessed day. Be safe. Que el San lo acutare siempre. There's a saying, right? That once this person hears that and watches this video, he'll know, or she'll know, he or she will know exactly what I mean, because we have this saying. I have heard it plenty times from he or she. Una mano lava la otra, y con las dos te lava la cara. One hand washes the other hand, and with both hands you wash your face. Have a great day. Sami lo acutare.